Welcome, Skyfarers, back to the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. Today, I am joined here by our special guest, Shen.
And I've been having a good time with you. GPUS has been really great. We have many leagues going, and this is now the NA qualifier, the second one. Tell me about more about it.
So this is NA North. This is going to be the second one, just like you said. We saw this a little bit ago, and some of the people in this bracket are actually repeat from the last bracket because they've got to get a chance to try and make it through the qualifier, right? And so they got to come back. Now, when we talk about NA North, we like to say that the some of the heaviest hitters are out of the Midwest of America, of North America, and a couple of them here are in the top 8, and you'll see them a little bit later. We'll talk about that. But another reason that a lot of people are coming back is for the wonderful prizes that you get just for signing up for the Granblue Fantasy Versus League. And that's the skins. We get everybody gets an exclusive in-game skin by just signing up, just playing. And first of all, just look at the skins. You're not getting these anywhere else, right? You have to sign up for this, and you can pick the character that you want it on. So, whichever character that you're trying to look for, your main character, if you're a Vera player, like there in the bottom right, or if you're trying to play Eustace, Jita, etc., right? You can get an exclusive skin just by signing up, just by playing, your match. You don't even have to win the tournament. You can go all in two, it's all good, and you still get the skin.
And I feel like the skin is actually one of the nicest one, compared to the original and the rest of it. So I feel that if you really love this, game, you really want to just get a skin just by just signing up. Even I myself, I wanted to sign up, just to get the skin itself. So it's really amazing.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what everybody's been playing for. Just on the just signing up side, right? But everybody here in the top 8 bracket wants more, and we're gonna see who's in the top 8 right now. So in winners finals, we already have solidified that it's Callisto versus Scarlet Oath, and then there in the losers bracket we have Seth versus Blazing Charmeleon, and now Callisto and Seth are both gonna be out of the Midwest, from what I remember. Scarlet Oath should be Canada. Now the one person I'm unfamiliar with, and this could just be somebody who's playing under a different name, I could be forgetting, etc. Is Blazing Charmeleon. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. But in the winners finals, we do see Callisto, who was in grand finals of the last North American North qualifier, didn't make it, so has to try again. And we're gonna be seeing that Catalina out of Callisto.
Wow, and I really like that Catalina. We hasn't really been seeing a lot of Catalina from the previous qualifiers. You have Charlotta, who is really popular, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the Asia region. So
Yes, yeah.
Catalina is actually really good, so I finally get to see something different.
Yeah, you're definitely going to see something a little bit different. That's the cool thing about the community league, right, Shen? Is that we get to see all the different regions. So we're going to be seeing the different player styles. We're going to be seeing all the different characters, right? In the very last North American broadcast, we saw La Diva, which is not a character that gets shown off too often these days, right? So we're gonna definitely be seeing more and more of that as the community league goes on. Seeing the different types of characters. America is pretty big on Cagliostro though, so you get to see her a lot if you watch some of the American qualifiers.
Y- Yes, these are the popular characters, and we just can't escape it. But it's really nice. I just really enjoy the different meta between Europe, Asia, and
Mhm,
America, and I always been learning something new just by watching the way they actually play.
mhm.
Especially the top from each region.
Yeah, I mean, and if you're new to the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League, one of the things that does go on here is just like Shan's talking about, is there is different regional events that happen, and you can watch them on this stream right here. The VODs are there for you to check out. There's the ones for Asia, just like Shan was talking about. You'll see Shan on one of those actually for the Asia League. There's the Europe, and here's North America, obviously. And if you want to be a part of any of that, you can actually sign up and get those skins we were talking about earlier. You can get your name on the top 8 graphic, maybe even win the tournament, move on to the finals. And you can do so by going to bit.ly/GBVS League. And again, that's all you got to do is sign up, and you get the skin that we showed earlier. And then you can even make it further in the bracket, and you can also maybe make it to the finals by taking a W in the tournament, right? And so that's something that a lot of people want to strive for, as we've seen here with the top 4 making it what I would assume is a close competition. We haven't gotten to see the rest of it on stream just yet, but we are going to see it here pretty soon. Yeah.
Yeah, especially when this is the second chance. This is also the last chance, I believe, So you'll see the players revealing all the tricks they have,
Yeah.
just to qualify for this. And that is what makes it really nice, when especially the last one is always my favorite qualifier. Just to see all the top players unleashing everything they have been hiding, all the best things that you can see from the character specialists themselves. This is the chance.
Yeah, yeah. When it's somebody's last chance, there's you can't hide anything anymore, right? Because like if you do, you're just well, what are you gonna use it on then if you lose, right? There's nothing left. So you definitely have to pull out all the stops. Anybody in NA North that's joined this is going to have to pull out everything at this point, and I mean, show that they're worthy of being within the finals, right? Because we've already had a few crowned for each portion of North America, and the other regions as well, right? So you've had a few crowned over there in Asia, but we're going to see here winners finals coming in. It's going to be Callisto versus Scarlet Oath. We are going to be seeing the Catalina mirror.
Wow, we're gonna see a lot of footsie as a Catalina mirror. I have not seen this in a very long time. Is that what Americans love playing? That
No,
is
no, this is a rare character in America as well. So this is just like one of the few times we get to see this. But so one thing that we may end up seeing here is a difference in playstyle, right? Callisto is known to be very, very strong at whiff punishing because just like yourself, he played another previous game in fighting games that was very, very strong for whiff punishers and whatnot, and so he very much likes the whiff punish type game. Scarlet Oath is struggling to find a chance to stop Callisto from just being able to press buttons at particular ranges. You notice where Callisto is standing, right? Just outside of the Catalina buttons, because he knows his character very well. They both play the same character, so you know how far you can stand for something.
Yeah, especially you can see that both, even though with the same tools that they actually have, Callisto is just doing all the right thing on the right range, keeping him just in the corner. He's never overstretching his position right there. And having that nice health lead, you can see, Scarlet is trying very hard to get out of it, but he just couldn't really find a spot right here. Callisto is controlling very well, and the rush following the combo with the warbot is just gonna manage to one pixel right there.
Yeah, just not enough meter because I had to use the rush. That was 50 meter, right? Got the plus frames, uses backshift just to be able to get away. Callisto recognizes the strong position that he's in, yeah, and just gets out of there and just like, okay, well, I've been winning in neutral, so it's totally fine for me to use backshift and go back to neutral, right? Scarlet Oath picking lunge at an inopportune moment and getting caught by the EX Fireball for the round.
He's actually so patient. Whenever he just get the health lead, you can see that he just back it off so much, and when the start of the game, he always pushes the opponent to the corner just in less than like 10 seconds, and just started to play a lot more slowly from here.
Yeah, and you can tell that Scarlet Oath is afraid of certain options from Callisto, and that's why there's so much walking back. They're kind of walking themselves into the corner if you think about it, which is playing great for Callisto, right?
Yep, Callisto is playing very well. I have to say I haven't seen such a great Catalina gameplay for a long time. He did make such a little bit of big reach right on the road, and there you go, he's just getting every strike perfectly. I just can't describe the game that how good is he at the mirror match compared to Scarlet.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you know your character so well, you know exactly where you need to stand because like you play versus somebody else who beats you up and you're like, okay, what are they doing that is very strong versus my character, right? And now you can apply that to the mirror match, and now, but you also have the knowledge of how your character works, and then on top of that, you're seeing Callisto converting into rush on pretty much every hit that is connected, right, to full damage, and so the damage output is higher, the spacing is just stronger right now, and apparently the guard strings are on point as well because you see the frame traps, yeah, into full damage as well. Another frame trap. Scarlet Oath unfortunately picking the wrong time to press buttons left and right. It feels like Callisto, on top of everything we just said, has real knowledge of Scarlet Oath's timing on when they want to press a button.
Yes, and he always just have such a huge life just from the start. But finally we see Scarlet doing something right here. Finally get a little bit of breathing space, but somehow he landed from one corner to the other corner and still doesn't get the health lead. This is just so mystery how Callisto is controlling the neutral and the spacing so well.
Yeah, well, so Callisto right there, the one time that Scarlet Oath found a jump in and Callisto wasn't ready for it, he immediately popped to Overdrive, and Overdrive knocked Scarlet Oath back into the other corner. So before it was, very, very strong footsie, yeah, to be able to move from one corner to the next, but then it was, oh, I jumped in, I tried to go for a throw, got Overdrived, and now the Fireball war was a loss. Callisto currently on set point now.
Yeah, that is just, you're gonna see how Scarlet's gonna adapt. such a big damage. And another mix. Almost got that clean hit right here and convert, just like you say, into the rush, spending everything that he has just for the kill.
And that was the
17
furthest
seconds.
spacing. That was the furthest spacing that he could have got that combo. If it was any further to the left, that combo would not have worked. It would not have gotten a wall bounce.
Yeah, the spacing specific combo as well. That was really impressive. I mean, he got 4 straight rounds, without really taking a lot of risks. He converts everything into rush for the max damage, and everything he does is like, it feels like he has been so much good muscle memory and good spacing and control of everything that I just felt like today is not the day, for his opponent.
Yeah, so sometimes your opponent is just playing out of their mind, and that's what it felt like for Callisto. Callisto was definitely fully in control, super strong, and again, you've mentioned it at least 3 or 4 times, and it's perfect to mention this because that was easily the game winner, and that was the spacing. Just like you're saying, that spacing was on point. We saw several whiff punishes in that first round. And then also, it may not even have been a whiff punish, right? Sometimes it was, you whiffed, now I can walk forward and push you closer to the corner, and that happened over and over again. Spacing and really strong spacing affords you so many different things, and you saw exactly like a masterclass of what Callisto brought to the table on that. And, in the bracket so far, Callisto's only lost a game to Seth, and Seth is in loser's bracket right now, so, it's hard to say who can stop Callisto right now.
Yes, on this gameplay, I just felt like even this opponent want to gamble a CA or EXDP from there, it just doesn't seem that there's the opportunity because he always backs it off and go back to the neutral game. He just want to play his strongest aspect of the game and not giving you a chance right there, and that will make you feel hopeless, especially if he wants to come back, to fight him in the losers bracket. That is gonna be a disaster.
It was a very aggressive patience. You had mentioned the patience, but like he was constantly walking forward too. So it was that's where the fear comes in, is when your opponent's not doing anything, but he's doing nothing menacingly. And that's kind of what Callisto was. He was just walking you into the corner, waiting for you to mess yourself up, and then just bam.
Yep. He's only patient when he put you into the corner. He's not like being defensive patient, but he gets patient only, okay, you're in the corner right now, and it's gonna take his turn slowly.
Yeah. So Callisto is going to be moving up to Grand Finals on the winner side. Looking very strong. And that's the second Grand Finals in a row for North American North for Callisto. But this time it's going to be on winner side, right? So that's a bit more of an advantage because if you're new to double elimination bracket formats, is what we use normally in the fighting game community. What it means is everybody gets 2 chances. You can lose, and then you can make a comeback by going through the losers bracket, and everybody gets the 2 chances. But if you make it to grand finals on winner side, that means you still have 2 chances. So the opponent who comes up from the losers bracket has to do so. But we're moving on through this, and it's gonna be Seth versus Blazin' Charmeleon, and there's Ladiva for Seth.
Yo, we're gonna see a zoning versus grappler matchup from here, and we're gonna see how Seth is just gonna get in. It's gonna be the ultimate question of getting the damage. But I feel like Seth is doing a good job so far, so it's all up to how he's gonna keep it up.
Although letting Blazin' Charmeleon hit a lot of jump-ins, right? That's unfortunate too, because Ladiva gets good damage off of jumping, but there it is, the grapple. Gonna try to go for it. Ooh, but the overdrive to get away. Yeah, Blazin' Charmeleon with a smart overdrive just to be able to get Ladiva away. And that's Ladiva's most difficult situations, is being able to get in nowadays is a lot more difficult for her. But there, sweep. Goes for the jump in. Oh, Super Skybound Art in the middle of the guard string? That's gonna connect!
That's a perfect timing right there to get out the super, and that's gonna go to a one pixel game.
Oh, what a read on the overdrive. Yeah, stood outside of the range. Overdrives, when they are blocked, are plus on block, right? They're +4. Well, actually, no, sorry, that's rush. I can't remember exactly how much overdrive is plus. But overdrives are plus on block when they connect on block. And so you stay outside of the range and you still get a punish because they do have to recover in their counter hit recovery.
Yeah, so you gotta make the overdrive weak in order to actually get a punish right there. So that is perfect bait. I would say that is a very good bait right there. It's not really easy. And there you go, he traps him in the corner right here with all the conversion. It's gonna get him to 1 pixel. Anything with a kill right here.
Yeah, the overdrive just to be able to get out of this situation right now. But oh, the rush is gonna, fully convert off of that jab. Now, normally that standing light would not have led to much off of a jump. right? Because normally the opponent flips out and there's not enough hit stun to really get anything else. But because of the rush, that allows for the full conversion there. Because even if that didn't kill, that would have gone into EX Lariat, and then that would have done it.
And it's getting the read perfectly. You don't want to play against, you know, a grappler who has the health lead because you're gonna be on the guessing side right here. Oh, didn't block that, and I think what a drop right there from Seth.
Oh, there finally is the answer. We mentioned that in the first round. One of the first things that that Blazing Charmeleon was getting away with was they were getting jump-ins left and right, and now you know, Seth finally at the very end, when it mattered for the game-winning hit, answered that jump out.
That is so crucial right there. I like how they always save the best thing for the last. You know, when you think you can just hit on their habits right there to get in, and they just adapt at the right moment. That is beautiful to watch.
Gonna be able to get out of the corner here. So Blazing Charmeleon does have access to the mode now. Has gotten the command grab and has changed. It's gonna be able to jump out of the corner. This is really good for Blazing Charmeleon. Yeah, trying to stay away from it just in case there's any sort of you know, wake up shenanigans there from Seth. But ooh, went for the DP. That's yeah, that DP. I don't believe it's punishable. I could be wrong. I'd have to double check.
I just love how he actually uses the rush to get himself out of the corner, and he's so aware of the different situations he's in, you know, just making sure that, you know, he can have a better position in the game. Wow, he just did it again out of nowhere, but Seth was waiting. He wasn't doing anything. Match point for Seth, just like this.
Blazing Charmeleon showed that hand in the previous round, right? Was using Super Skybound art in the middle of a guard string from Seth, and it worked out in the first time, but not the second time here. Seth changing up the guard strings to not have to deal with that when Blazing Charmeleon has 100 meter. You'll notice that Blazing Charmeleon is actually very much prone to wanting to take turns back. There's a lot of DPs in the middle of guard strings. There's, you know, Super Skybound arts, etc. Right? Tried to go for the command grab.
But I felt that this kind of playstyle that Blazing Charmeleon have is kind of getting read by Seth. He's always delaying his buttons or like trying to bait out, you know. He hasn't had much of the CA hitting Seth so far. What a DP right there. That was a great one.
On the other side right there. It looked like Seth landed, maybe could have blocked, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. I mean, not going to matter anymore. The EX is coming out. Gonna be able to push towards the corner now. Yeah, DP's out of the string. That's good because you don't give Ladiva the plus frames, which, you know, is monstrous for Ladiva. She's gonna be able to, do stuff like this if she has any sort of plus frames.
Oh, the neutral jump, I don't think he actually meant to do that, but it doesn't really matter. It's still match point for Seth right now. And Blazing Charmeleon, I like how he's capitalizing the opportunity right here, putting Ladiva in the corner.
Making as much damage as possible in the Super Skybound art. I'm really surprised on that one. There it is. That's how you punish it right there. Is you get the spot dodge in between the two hits. Oh, and another DP. Backs off. Was expecting something from Seth. Was gonna duck under the lariat. Got the DP on that one. And Blazing Charmeleon staying alive here. One apiece now.
There was such a close round between both, and this could be anybody games have to see from the. This is really looking close. What? He's just going in right here.
Yeah, see,
playing a little bit more aggressive.
This is what we were mentioning before. Is the want to take the turn back. That's how Blazing Charmeleon is playing. They want to do anything possible to get out of defense and get back into offense as quickly as possible. And so you'll notice like dragon punches are abound, Super Skybounds arts, backshift, you know, rush, etc. Trying to jump out and get a jump in. But no, yes. Seth is no longer allowing for it. You notice that guard string was made specifically to catch a jump.
The thing about Seth is winning, you know, looking like having so much advantage here is he's getting in way too much. I feel like Blazing Charmeleon has to be doing something to not get the get-in chance so much, because the reason he's losing is not because of the guessing of the defense, but then it's just getting in way too much in against him. That's why he's actually not doing so well.
Ooh, the cheeky little reset right there. Well, maybe this is the start, you know, getting into the mode. Wow, swept in the middle of the string. You have to be insane. But I mean, you know, Seth doing it big.
he's feeling himself. He's having a good lead right here, but you know, he's still one hit away. He better close this up because this could be dangerous. Especially when Traveler is in the overdrive right here. Any he could have killed.
Oh, the back shift got out.
Perfectly done. The timing right there into the grab. That is how you end the round. That was really good.
Yeah, that back shift had not come out as a defensive option a single time for Seth up until that point. In fact, Blazing Charmeleon was, it seemed like Blazing Charmeleon in a couple previous rounds was even looking for back shift, right? Because they would do a jump in and then they would stop and they would wait to, you know, wait for the back shift and then you punish the back shift at the end of its recovery. But you know, that didn't come out once for Seth up until that final moment. Blazing Charmeleon tried to go for a grab a second time and no dice, back shift perfectly timed. Seth is going to be moving on. Blazing Charmeleon going to be going home right here with 4th place.
And it could actually be a very dangerous thing to be backshifting in the corner because there's still recovery, you know, from the backshift. So having it as the final last street once again, I felt like Seth is the kind of player always saving the best thing for the last moment. And
Yeah.
the anti-air, the backshift, and it just all works out, even though it's risky or not. Whatever gives you the win, you know, it's the best. So he deserved it, getting that win right there.
Well, I mean, you know, it did get Seth the win. Seth is going to be moving on there. Is going to be playing versus Scarlet Oath to figure out who's going to fight Callisto. But we will be seeing that a little bit later as we're going to be kicking it off to a 5-minute break. So just want to tell you guys before we go to that break, make sure to hit up bit.ly/GBVS League if you want to sign up for, you know, the next qualifiers. Because we are running in the final stretch of these and there's not a whole lot of time left. So we will see you guys in about 5 minutes. Keep it locked here and we will be getting with the next matches after this. And welcome back to the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. We just saw some excellent matches to start off our top 4 for North American North number 2. And we are still trying to crown our second qualified player. Right now, though, we do have Callisto in the grand finals on the winner's side. So it's looking like that Callisto is the man to beat right now, Xian.
Yep, and his Catalina gameplay is just one of the most amazing. As far as I can see, I haven't seen a Catalina played that well, especially on the spacing part. I still have to say it again. It's the spacing that makes him so good.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, that's one of the big strengths of the character, right? Like, if you have strong spacing, she really gets to shine, and so you get to see that. But there's another 2 competitors right now that are getting ready to vie for the potential to be able to fight Callisto there in the grand finals, and those are Seth and Scarlet Oath. Now, Scarlet Oath did unfortunately go down in the winners finals set, excuse me. So it's gonna be a Catalina gauntlet for Seth if he's able to take down Scarlet Oath, and if not, then we may see another Catalina mirror up there in the grand finals.
Well, I have to say that, Seth has to go through 2 Catalina from now. And
Yeah.
it doesn't look like too great that he has to play a first to 3, especially in the grand final. They have to play a first to 3. So he really needs to have his patience right there on choosing his position to get in and capitalize, and not get tilted if he just doesn't get things going on. So having 2 in a row, Catalina, may be a good thing for him. Since he can get a warm-up first, it may not be. So we'll see how this works out.
Yeah, that is how you have to kind of look at it, right? Is how does the losers finals match approach? Because depending on what both these players do here is kind of what they have to go towards versus Callisto there in the grand finals. And remember, Callisto does have 2 chances, right? Because when you're in the grand finals on winner's side, you still have both of your lives, and that's how the double elimination bracket works. So it's he's got a bit of an uphill climb to have to be able to deal with it.
Yep, having the first 2 tuner against the, Catalina has a warm up, I think is a very good thing, because if Seth managed to mix it and gets to fight Callisto, he really have some good muscle memory from the previous match since it's both Catalina, right? So we'll see how this is gonna
Ooh, so, okay, Seth is going to the 6. Yeah, so this is the other characters. And then Scarlet Oath is on the Vera. So Scarlet Oath, Vera was the character that I thought they were going to play versus Callisto, but I didn't see it, right? And so now Seth has played both characters of 6 and Ladiva. Seth originally played Ladiva before 6 came out, that kind of thing, right? But Scarlet Oath, it felt like this was the main character for them, but went to Catalina versus Callisto specifically in that winners finals.
Wow, I wasn't really expecting a switch of characters from both players from what they actually both uses. So that's a very different meta right there. And that is very interesting. Oh, that was a very nice rush there.
Yeah, that was knowledge of how to fight 6, right? That rush right there. If 6 is doing any sort of follow up right there, rush can actually get you out of dodge in numerous different fashions. But use the back shift on this one. But there's the EX. This is going to be full conversion to Super Skybound art. Yeah, finish it off here. That's going to be the round. And yeah, like to talk about your point of not expecting the character switches, Seth is Midwest from what I remember, unless they've moved, right? And so because of that, they probably have the Catalina experience on deck. So playing Vera might have been the idea, just to be able to stop that.
That is always the best approach of picking characters that your opponent is not very familiar with. That's absolutely something that always works out in the tournament, and I like that they are using that approach as well.
Something else that I like is that they specifically went into the transformation there on the knockdown. So Scarlet Oath now has access to, stronger options. Oh, and there's that Dragon Punch, right? What are you going to do? Try to punish that just from too far away? Unfortunately, not going to get it.
Okay, putting on some pressure. Corner position right here. Wow.
I think Scarlet Oath tried to rush right there, but actually only had 49 meter instead of 50, and it probably didn't come out. I would have to double check the replay on that one, but unfortunately, it's not going to matter because that's going to be first game to Seth here.
I saw it was 47, but no matter what, it's still not enough to get the rush out. So he has to make a bad decision right there.
Yeah, because that's a very common answer to that situation, right? Before Rush was implemented, that was not something that a player could do, right? They couldn't spend 50 of their meter to be able to get out of that, or at least make it better in their favor. But oh no, got caught by the Universal Overhead on the throw attack bait. And this is good damage, but also a much better situation on offense as well as your plus. Goes for the DP immediately, does not want to have to deal with it.
The most demoralizing thing is to just get, into the overhead when you're attacking a throw. That is the worst, because the scaling of the combo doesn't really have a lot, so it's gonna be really damaging. And again, just like this, Seth's just gonna go into the match point. Playing so well right here.
He is one of the fastest characters in the game offensively in terms of like how they play, right? They're obviously the fastest in terms of dash speed, but so, some matches can go by really quick when you're fighting Six because of just the pressure that he can put on. And you're seeing it in play right now. Caught the back walk there. He's gonna be able to get the knockdown here, plus the setup.
Seth is just getting so much off his offense game right here. I feel like every single offense he delayed, or anything he has been doing has been working out perfectly. And Scarlet is not having a chance to be adapting. I hope he can get at this round so we can see more adaptation. But it looks like that combo is gonna end it. And Seth just proceeds to the grand final 2-0. Really
Very,
game,
very
just
strong.
like you said.
Yeah, very, very strong play from Seth. It looked like Scarlet Oath was unable to kind of weather the storm, right? That was just snap decision making after snap decision making, and that makes it really hard to assess your mental stack and, be able to make it so that you have pretty much every option being able to be reacted to, right? Showed some promise at the very beginning of that set by, using the Rush versus the Rekka, but after that, it Seth just kind of structuring the offense, reading, Scarlet Oath very, very well. Super, super good play from Seth, and that's why they're going to move on. Yeah, congratulations to Scarlet Oath for third place here on NA North number 2. But yes, now we do have our grand final solidified here on this one. There's only 2 left now. One of them has quite the advantage, and one of them actually ended up putting the other into losers. Callisto is the only person so far to have beaten Seth. And so getting the run back here, Seth definitely wants that revenge.
I wonder what character Seth will be actually coming out with against Callisto this time. Since this is also the last chance they have, to qualify, he really needs to get the win. At least need to reset the bracket first. So what character do you think they'll be playing?
So I want to put my bet on Six, and the reason being is that Six is the all-rounder, right? Six is just the best choice versus most of the cast regardless. Six just kind of has that ability, right? And on top of that, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was really surprised to see the Ladiva from Seth in this day and age. I don't really see it too often these days, so I just assumed that Seth's Six would be in more practice. I could be wrong about that. Maybe in online sets has been playing Ladiva more than I've been seeing. But I guess we're gonna find out. But yes, I am going to put all of my points, all of my money or whatever you want to say, on the Six. If I'm wrong, well, I'm bankrupt.
Well, it's always hard to guess. Even in the other Asia qualifiers, it's always unpredictable because every players play at least 2 to 3 characters. And every time we thought that a character is coming up, another one came out instead. That is what's really interesting. In this GBVS league, you see all the players has been preparing multiple characters to be dealing with different matchups. Yeah. And that makes it so interesting because you can never know. Not even us can predict what is going to come up.
Yeah, and it's very important to be able to be able to play multiple characters at this level, right? Because if you're able to play multiple characters at this level, that doesn't just mean that you can also get through certain matchups that may be difficult for your main character or a secondary character that you might have, but it also means that if you run into that character in bracket, if you run into another Ladiva player, if you're Seth, you know how Ladiva works. If you run into we saw it in Grands, right? We saw it in Winners Finals with Callisto versus Scarlet Oath. We saw that Callisto was very, very strong versus Catalina because that's the character that he knows, right? Just that kind of thing. If you have multiple characters at that level, if you have a knowledge base at that level of those characters, if you run into that character, you may know how to stop them in their tracks. You may know how to frustrate the opponent that plays that character very, very well. So it's just another really important aspect to get ready for when you're playing at the level that some of these players are at.
Yep, exactly. I totally agree with you. Especially you even know the setups, being able to recognize instantly has a muscle memory right there. Being
Yeah.
able to do the right counter. Some setups may be able to counter with rush, overdrive, any gaps in between. You will know it perfectly in your muscle memory. That will be different on paper because you can react to it immediately if it's actually in your muscle memory.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that may end up coming up right here. So, this is a matchup that I feel like these two players have probably played a bit, because again, both times that NA North has come up, Midwest has been a very strong force in NA North. They're one of the strongest forces in North America for Granblue Fantasy versus, and that's not up for debate, right? And I mean, well, you can see it here in the grands, right? So we are getting Six versus Catalina.
You got all your points. You got all your points winning right there. Dang,
I was
really
worried for my bank account. I was real worried for my bank account. I thought I was about to file for Chapter 11. You feel me?
Let's see how this match is gonna go. Callisto is very solid as usual, but he's not controlling the neutral that easily this time. This is not a mirror match. Six has a lot of options going around, so we'll see how he's gonna deal with it.
Six also has the fastest dash speed in the game, and on top of that, he also's got aerial attacks that can stop his momentum. He's got a dive kick, he's got a fireball that he can press, so it's not so easy to control the neutral versus this character because he has so many different options that change what you might want to do in neutral. That throw pushing Callisto into the corner, this could come back to backfire maybe, depending on the decision that Seth makes, but that's plus frames right there, and now Seth has the corner pressure. +4 here.
And the rush right there just to get himself out of the corner. Callisto is making all the good decisions right here and defending perfectly against the offense that Seth is going on. I feel like Seth hasn't really gotten in a lot of offense in against Callisto as far as can see. Okay, there's a chance.
Another throw. Throws have been paying off so well, but right there, finally getting the hit. There's the EXDP and just barely going to kill. Oh man, that
very
rush.
Gutsy wake up jab right there, getting the win for Callisto.
Yeah, I mean, wake up jab is very strong for catching people trying to walk up to you and attempting to not only throw, but even throw bait, right? Because you can catch them out of a universal overhead or a jump in the air and you get the full conversion. And I mean, look at the damage output Callisto is playing. This is so much more aggressive. Drops the jump in though, so that's not going to be meaty, allowing Seth to be able to get out. Oh, was maybe looking for an overdrive right there.
Oh, didn't. This is just so careful. I wonder how Callisto always get the patience right there to play like this whenever he gets the health lead. I really like his gameplay right here. Okay,
Drive right back. This is important for Seth because this locks out a chip kill, right? Oh, that's a hit. That's huge damage. Hold on.
It's gonna be big. This may be not enough for the kill. Maybe enough for the kill because I feel like there isn't a lot of scaling on the combo beside.
There it is.
And there you go. You got it down right there.
Yeah, that's why Seth did not go for the full conversion, because the way the damage scaling works in this game is it's tied to number of hits, right? So and that's one of the few weaknesses that Six has, is that his main combo conversion tool adds a lot of hits. So he ends up doing way less damage than most people on average, depending on how you structure the combo, right? And so Seth was like, I can't allow this to happen. This has got to be the kill right here, right now.
Conversion capitalizing perfectly right there, just like you said. And now the corner pressure. I felt like he's made some adjustment on his offense right here. And that's the first EXDP Callisto actually does. Throughout the set. I haven't really seen him doing a lot of EXDP as a defense. But whenever he uses it, it's been working out. And again, just as if he could actually hear me like this. That was crazy.
Oh, caught the teleport right there. Super good from Callisto. Wait, is that gonna catch the backdash? Oh, just barely did not. Yeah. That was scary. I wasn't sure if that was going to catch the backdash or not, but Callisto's going to take the first game, and this is going to be a street fight. This is this is going to be close, I think.
This is running up to the wire for both players. I feel like both players making really class decisions, and it could be anybody's game. But the advantage from Callisto right here is working very well, especially when all his DP has been hitting. This is gonna not make Seth getting easy offense, and now he baits it out right there. What an adaptation. That is actually crazy.
Yeah, I got the back throw too. And the offense that we were seeing earlier is right back into Seth's favor. He's got the corner pressure, goes towards the wall. There's not a whole lot of health left. And the meaty setup, it finds true. That wasn't even a true combo. That was 2L2M, but it didn't truly combo. It looks like Callisto maybe tried to jump out or something.
Oh, and he's just starting out the game right here with a running jab. Callisto is just full of surprise in his gameplay. Playing on the offense right here.
Ooh, tried to anti-air on that one, but didn't get it. And yeah, ooh, that's hugely punishable. Very easy to punish for that. A lot of dragon punches now. Yeah.
Punches are working like magic. Callisto wasn't even using it so much, you know, at the winner's final, but now he's doing it so much against Seth.
Skybound Art, this should not kill, but it will be very close, right? So that means one more hit is going to be able to do it if Seth gets it, but there's the throw. That'll be the one hit needed. Seth now one apiece here in grand finals, and again, this is 3 out of 5. So not only does Seth have to win 2 sets, like we were talking about earlier, but he has to win 3 of them in each set.
Yep, so the loser's bracket advantage right there is even, the winner bracket advantage is even way more, especially when it comes to first to 3, because your mental strength needs to be really strong enough, to get through this while knowing that you have to win 2 sets. It could be a little bit tiring, but let's see if Seth is able to hold it out. Dodge.
Yeah. Oh, caught the jump right there. Yeah, and no EX though to be able to convert off of that, unfortunately. Still going to be able to get the knockdown here. Goes for the double light. Seth is now fighting for control to be able to get away from this corner, and there's the Thunder Flash, the counter. Oh, no! You did lunge on Wake Up?
That is real. I can't... Wow. The decisions making is insane. That is crazy. Callisto is playing like never. He wants to get into the grand final. He wants to qualify for this. You can see he's doing everything he can right here.
Yeah. Multiple anti-airs. Yeah, and there's another one right there. That TP was so preemptive. Good lord. He's just, you're right, the decision making is just on point at pretty much every point.
I don't even wonder if that is even execution error at this point. Like oh, another one. This is gonna be driving Seth so crazy right here with all the dragon punches. Like, it's just so coming up all out of nowhere. Callisto is having a really good read of everything right here.
And then the reactions on the jumps has pretty much gotten almost every jump at this point. The first couple of rounds were not so big on being able to catch jumps, but now Callisto feels in control when it comes to the aerial situation. The Thunder Flash, though, there's the back shift. Have not seen that. We were talking about how sometimes that can be a risky option.
Yeah, but it's working out so far, whenever, that is being used today. Seth is using it, the back shift into the grab when he uses Lativa, and now Callisto is using it against him, It's all against the grab.
I gotta say, Callisto has turned into the Callisto that I know in terms of playstyle. Callisto that I know, the Callisto that I played versus, is very erratic, very hard to be able to predict. And yeah, and he also has no fear, right? So that's why you're seeing these dragon punches come out left and right. But Seth, I think finally has started to recognize, like, all right, man, you're insane. I've got to do something about this.
Yep. And this is the important point to be adjusting. Okay, overdrive right here. It's gonna be trying to get something out of here.
Oh, tried to go for the throw attack, and yeah, if you throw attack just a little bit later than your opponent, what that means is the recovery is going to get punished. There's the back shift and a beautiful punish there on the missed universal overhead there. Seth trying to stay alive.
Callisto trying to overhead. Actually, Ghost got a counter. He could have got a comeback from there, so Callisto is making some big bets right here. Okay, another DB. How many dragon punches am I gonna see in this set?
We should have had a counter. We should have had a counter.
I just thought Callisto was not a kind of Dragon Punch players, from the winner's bracket, it's from 0 Dragon Punches to Dragon Punches all day. What
this is the Callisto that I know. He's Dragon Punch happy. from playing other fighting games, let me tell you. Goes to the overdrive, and yeah, unfortunately because of Seth running forward, that actually ended up walking into the overdrive. Now Callisto has all that chip advantage. Gonna be able to get full conversion here. This isn't gonna animate it, but it will kill.
That is such a good conversion from that jumping jab right there, and
Mhm.
getting the right thing just for the kill. And now he's moving to the match point just like this. He's gonna capitalize on this.
Yeah, that tournament point is looking real good for Callisto. Seth can no longer allow Callisto to do anything, but he did allow Callisto to jump out. So, Xian, you remember those dragon punches that Callisto was doing previously. Now, Seth is so afraid of all those dragon punches that he let Callisto jump out because he wanted to block one.
Yep, but he hasn't been blocking almost, maybe only one as far as I remember. And Callisto is having the perfect defense between trying to do a dragon punch and getting out of the corner. So this is looking so bad for Seth right here. Just on the My Games session.
Oh, yeah, just barely got over that jump over. And now Seth, unfortunately, in the corner here. Callisto is in control on this one. Doesn't have EX Fireball, though.
So one chance right here. Both players are being really careful. You don't want to get hit by anything. And
oh, no!
Almost got it.
Did not properly react. No! Didn't kill off of it! Oh,
You can't be dropping that combo right there. Seth is feeling so nervous. You don't want to be losing like this.
Got the throw. One more hit will do it.
Chance.
Oh, trying to go for the back shift and got caught by the 2M. Callisto is your GB versus League North American North champion for the second one. Oh my god.
Like
that
this.
combo drop.
That was a big drop right there from Seth. That is gonna be haunting him until the next GBVS League, because he could have made it 2-2 and move on much further. That combo drop was, I don't know, he must be killing himself right here. That is not a good feeling to lose, and it's one of the worst.
That's so unfortunate right there. But, I mean, Callisto kept composure, recognized the situation, despite the fact that, had an incorrect reaction on the 5H into Skybound Art, that got blocked. Could have been a kill there off of, 5H, one more button into Super Skybound Art, didn't get it. Just kept the composure, was like, wait, Seth dropped the combo. I'm still in this. I can make it happen. And so, definitely made that happen. That was the big deal right there. I can't believe it.
I just don't like to see, players losing like this. But, big shouts to Callisto. He has made it into the grand final the previous time. And this is well deserved. I mean, you've been in the grand final twice in a row. Who else deserves it more than you, right? So, shoutouts to that Catalina. He played really well. It's one of the best I've seen, for Catalina. This is definitely not a popular character in this meta, at least. But he has shown that, he has done really well with whatever she has. His fundamentals are very solid, so I do wish that, he will move on and get great results, from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're gonna be able to have a chance to talk to Callisto here in a little bit, but we're gonna kick it off to a quick break, and when we come back, we are gonna have a little bit of an interview with our winner for the GBVS North American NA North number 2. So stick around. We're gonna get to see what was going on in the mind of Callisto. All right, and we are back here for the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League. We just finished off our grand finals. Our number one player for today, the next person qualified from North America North, is Callisto. We saw him in the grand finals of the previous tournament for NA North, and was in grand finals. Unfortunately, got second on that one, but now has sealed the deal, has finished it off, has qualified. Xian, it's like a Cinderella story.
Yeah, I know, right? I always love it when I saw players not qualifying for the first one, because it must be taking a deep, feeling in the heart right there and managed to make it right there. Definitely felt like a relief. As a player myself, I know that feeling so well, and I felt really happy for Callisto, and I know he must be feeling really happy right now too.
Well, I mean, we're gonna hear from him right now. I want to get Callisto in here. This moment, we gotta talk to Callisto. There he is, the man of
Hey,
the hour, the
what's good? Can
strongest
you guys hear me?
Catalina. Yes,
Yep,
we can.
All right. Yeah. Feeling pretty good. I mean, you had mentioned to Jian before, like I was a Street Fighter 4 player. That was my main game for a very long time. I was kind of like wandering around a little lost between 2016 and 2020.
Yeah.
And then Granblue Fantasy Versus came out, and it's a game and a character that fit me really well. And I think the NA North won. That was the first tournament for Granblue that wasn't like one of my tournaments that I was running that I did well in. And I think a lot of people who I play with regularly, they would think of me as a strong player, but I didn't have the receipts, right? Like I didn't have anything
Yeah.
established to back it up. And since then, the past month or so, I've been playing really well. We had talked, pre-CEO Taku, myself, putting a lot of pressure on myself to do well at that tournament, and I got ninth, and I did really, anyone who played me in casuals, they could tell you the lore. They know what's up. But I played really well. I did unfortunately catch COVID. I was out of commission for 2 to 3 weeks, not playing at all. I was a little worried I was going to be rusty. But when I picked it back up last week, I've just been doing a lot of the little things well, and I don't think I've ever come into a bracket expecting to win it. But I was doing enough of the little stuff well that I knew if I just stayed disciplined and kept doing it, things would sort of fall into place, right? Eventually, it's got to happen if you're just playing as well as you can.
Yeah, it definitely felt like the little stuff was what you were doing well, right? There was in the grand finals during the third game, you had started to hit pretty much every jump with an air to air, right? Like or an anti-air was like
Yeah.
coming in, right? So like the little stuff that wasn't happening earlier started to become more prominent. And then like you were also setting up Seth to think a DP was coming because you DP'd like 8 times in a
Yeah,
row,
and
and then
Seth
that
and
allowed you to jump out
I,
of the corner.
Seth and I are both Chicago, right? He's arguably one of the people who I have the most matches in this game logged against because he's one of the most active players in Chicago aside from myself. And we've, like he had actually we played at least 30 games before in the break between the first part of the bracket and top four. We went to New York one and we ran first to threes for an hour and a half. Like there's some stuff people would see, and I know you make this disclaimer on commentary all the time. When it's two
All
people
the
who
time.
know each other, sometimes you're coming in at Yomi level 1, sometimes you're coming in at like Yomi level 45 or something, right? Like sometimes you'll see some stuff.
Yeah, no. That's always what happens when like the two people are playing versus each other. But like, I mean, I gotta ask you actually because you're talking about you and Seth, and you and Seth was the grand finals. We mentioned this previously on NA North as well. Midwest is just one of the strongest Granblue Fantasy versus regions, just period, right? So like, what do you attribute it to in regards to the strength of Midwest in North America?
Um, some of it is honestly we had a few really talented players, especially earlier in the life of this game, that even if they're not really active now, for players like myself and like Seth for that sort of B tier, like the ones who like will win if a couple players aren't present. But they had stopped playing, and Seth and I, we had already had that fire of like, no, we're going to be better than these guys. We're going to beat these guys, and a lot of the Midwest players who are still playing are like that, and they're critical of their own deficiencies, right? They're looking. You can see Seth, Ladiva main, right? You're not going to pick Ladiva against Catalina. That's literally Catalina's only winning matchup. That would be the worst pick in the world, and he developed a pocket for her and other characters. I myself, I have a pocket Jita. You don't see her a lot because I'm trying to see how far I can take this Catalina before I really worry about it, because I think that a lot of my tournament losses are not because of the character.
Yeah.
So
So how do you feel playing a character like Catalina, qualifying, because Catalina is not a very popular character. It's not really that strong, and a lot
yeah,
of players in Asia region are just playing top tiers. So how does
yeah.
it feel to juggle that?
I think that there is sometimes you'll get by with actually a little bit of matchup unfamiliarity. And also, I think that I've developed a pretty unique style for the character. There are, Ebonic Plague and I have had these conversations before. I would not put myself as the best Catalina player in North America. That's going to go to Neocars for free. I think in the past 6 weeks or so, I've made a pretty good case for myself, maybe being the second best Catalina in North America. But more importantly, I don't play like anyone else. I have a very unique style. I've sat down and I use a lot of tools in ways that people would not, because I've tried to figure out everything I can about this character. I know a lot of punishes and conversions that no one else is going to make. Sometimes my decision making isn't the best, and I'm still, sometimes my spacing isn't the best, even though it has been improving. But I have this style of my own, and the past month, something that's been important to me is I gotten to play a lot more different people, especially at CEO Otaku offline. I really got to throw my style against people who I don't get to play as much to see if it was valid. And it turned out that it was. And now that I don't have to second guess, like, is my baseline foundation of how I think I'm supposed to play this game, now that I know that's correct, I can fine tune it, right? There's a lot of little stuff that I added this week, trying to consistently anti-air with EXTP because it gives her like 25 to 32 meter, stuff like that. Trying to be very conscious of what do I need to build rush down? What timers do I need to maintain to convert from this distance? Sometimes knowing that it's just not my turn and to disengage. I showed a lot of times there's the combo ending in the 2H 5U forward dash into the 2 jabs. And sometimes then you do like an empty light wall. Sometimes I dash forward, sometimes I dash backwards, because I'm trying to keep control of the situation and make a moment-to-moment decision of, do I need to go back in and continue applying pressure? Do I smell blood, or is it time to back off and wait for those timers to come back? And, it's paying off.
So qualifying, into the finals, do you think you'll be playing only Catalina, or do you think you'll bring out your other characters?
I think so. I believe in my Jita, actually. I don't think my Jita is a slouch. I don't play her a ton, but I think a lot of the people who have fought my Jita know that I play that character very seriously. That character is the closest to Sakura we're going to see in an anime game, right? Like, that character was made for me. And I think that there's some matchups where maybe if I had like a winner side advantage or something, I would try to throw it out. But in a 1-2, I got to stick with Catalina. I know too much about Catalina, and I think other people know too little about her. And I think that's a major advantage for me, on top of needing to be ready for the actual Callisto matchup and the things that I do that other players don't.
So, I mean, speaking of you going to the finals, this is going to be my last question. What are you going to have to be prepared for in the finals? How are you going to prepare for it, etc.? Right?
I think for the most part, especially on the North American side, when you know who you're going to fight and you ping people for sets, like, they'll run it. They're not afraid of giving you the information. We all want to play our best, and we all want to put on a good show and make this game look good. And how I'm going to prepare is that if I find out who I'm playing, I'm going to hit them up a week before, like, let's grind it out.
And no reason to be afraid, especially not in the North American community, because the North American community has been very tight knit for the game, and I mean you are an attribution of that, right? You are somebody who has been very helpful in regards to that as well. So of course I'm going to thank you for that. But do you have any closing thoughts that you want to talk about before we get on out of here?
I guess something I do want to bring up is, like, I think that skill, I think I'm objectively relatively skilled at this game, but I think skill is kind of a combination of natural talent and practice. And I think I'm very low on the natural talent. And if we're being real, I have pretty slow reactions. My execution has gone downhill really hard the last few years, but I play this game a lot. I have minimum 30,000 matches logged in this game. And I think that if you're willing to just play sweaty and grind it out, you can do well. You don't have to be some like, God's gifted, perfect spacing, perfect space control with punish monster, right? Like, 12 frame reactions or whatever. You just need to play a lot, look at the situations while you're losing, and try to learn as many possible interactions as you can. And even if you're playing a character that is considered low tier, if you know more about a larger number of interactions than your opponent does, it's fine.
Well, I mean, hey, again, thank you so much, Callisto, and congratulations for punching your ticket to the finals. You definitely deserve it after playing like that today. Thank you so much for joining us as well. I don't know if Xian has anything to say to you before we get on out of here.
I mean, I just want to congratulate you. Are one of the best Catalina I've been seeing, in this league.
Thank you.
Big
I hope so. I
congrats,
put
and
a lot of work into it.
I hope you do really well. 30,000 matches is sick, and I just hope you can do your best, and I'll be cheering you on.
Thank you. My cat's nice. You guys know what's up.
Yes, he said the line. All right, well, Callisto, thank you so much. And hey, everybody at home, I just gotta do one more thing. Of course, there's more Granblue Fantasy versus Community League coming up, and there is more that you can do with this league in your region. And if you want to sign up, you can get one of those exclusive skins that you can play for by just signing up, just by showing up. You don't have to win the tournament to get it. You can just be here. You can just play. And here's these exclusive in-game skins. They're available for all competitors, and you can do so by signing up and going to bit.ly/GBVS League. And so you go there, you sign up, you find your particular region's qualifier, because there's not very many left. There's only a few chances for you to get the skin now. So, make sure you hit up the last few qualifiers for this and get into your particular region. Maybe even win the tournament, punch your ticket to the finals, and show Callisto maybe you have a nicer cat. I don't know.
Well, I mean, he has put up a really great show, even though it's 6 a.m. right here for me, but I think I got a really nice and entertaining match from his finals, and I just really hope that, he can bring this even further, trying to main a character that is not common, and I always respect that.
Yeah. No, I mean, Callisto talks about being the nicest cat, and is going to show it. Is going to show it in the finals, right? Hopefully, we'll get to see some strong matches from them. But that is going to be it for our NA North #2 Granblue Fantasy versus Community League event. Our top 4 was just shown off. It was an excellent set of matches, and I want to thank everybody at home for joining us. Shan, I want to thank you for being here with me, being able to commentate through this. I hope you had a good time.
Yep, I have a really good time. It was my first time commentating with you, and I think went really well. So thank you so much as well. Thank you guys for letting me here.
So just one last call to action, bit.ly/GBVS League to be able to sign up for the next set of qualifiers. Remember, your region's qualifier is probably coming up. Don't miss that last chance to get those skins. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, and we will see you on the next broadcast for the Granblue Fantasy versus Community League.